Welcome back to Sustained Overruled. I am the anonymous attorney. All right. I come to you, let me see. It's not low energy, but I am actually exhausted and I am blaming FFS for my exhaustion because um we did not go to I don't know what time the live ended. Last it's really this morning. I think the live ended around maybe 3:30. I am surviving off of 3 4 hours of sleep because I got up early, did some work. I actually worked. I put some work in today. Okay, put in some work, and now here I am. So we're switching up a little. We are switching it up a little bit. Okay, and Jasmine, when you make it here, please let me know. I have a word for you. All right. So the reason why I want to shift over, because obviously today we're supposed to be paying attention to Max Shardt, but I thought this was an interesting title. It could be clickbait, it could be misleading, but the title is interesting in the terms of somebody in here. Okay, who's this? Megan says defense says. So I'm assuming one of these three men characterized Simone. I almost said Simone Biles. No, Simone Hilton's closing as a passionate Hail Mary closing. So I want to know what that's all about, and then eventually we're going to get into the close, not the closing, into the interview from the very beginning. But I want to get this out of the way. So let's. Am I sharing my screen? Yes, I am. Let's get into it. Shout out to Greg though.
I mean, Hilton's closing was somewhat effective in that the
Hold
jury.
on. Let's go.
Somebody's asking about closings.
I don't know why can I not see her. There we go. It's much better.
I noticed was just based on the jury's questions. I mean, Hilton's closing was somewhat effective in that the jury seemed to be focusing on the stuff that she brought their attention to. It just wasn't enough jurors. What did you think about the closing? Well, I guess it was technically the.
Shout out to Brooklyn. What's Brooklyn saying? Hey, Brooklyn, we missed you last night. Wagwan.
Rebuttal.
Right, let's get in here.
What did you think about that?
I thought she made a good closing.
Yeah, that's what I keep saying. Okay, and I think Brooklyn and I probably agree on this point. Hilton's closing was good, but they did not have the facts to back. They didn't. The state did not have the facts to back it up. But that was a pretty good closing.
However, I think she made it too late in the
Right.
trial.
Right.
I think that, well, I don't mean the closing too late, but I think it was too little too late,
Right.
or too much too late, whatever. I think the jury had pretty much already made up their mind a lot after Max and
Right.
during the duration.
Max was fantastic. I mean, we all know Max was fantastic, but I just have to give him his props. Shout out to all public defenders.
Sit there all that time. And they pretty much told us that when we went back in the back. But overall, I think she made a good closing, a lot better than the other prosecutor.
Right.
Well, what?
And that's where you see, based on what we are hearing here, is that the jurors had already pretty much made up their mind after Max closing. Okay. And the reason why I am reiterating that is because I've been very steadfast in the point that all the defendants in this case benefited from Max Shardt's skills. Even though Gotti got off with, he was acquitted on all charges, that is also an extension of Max Shardt's effectiveness as an attorney, his effectiveness as a cross-examiner. Let's see what's Brooklyn saying. Brooklyn's saying, man, let me go get my glasses. Hold on. I need to, because this training is not working. One moment. Hold on. I'll be back. Talk to each other in the chat or something. I'm back. I'm carrying my purse here. Hopefully, I think my glasses will be in here. I just have to remember to put them back in my purse. Otherwise, I'll have real problems. But I had to get my glasses because the straining is not. I can't do it. Can't do it. All right. So Brooklyn says, "Hail Mary means when you have 2 seconds left in the game and you throw the ball away and throw to the end zone, and someone catches the ball for a touchdown." Now that's a fair assessment. Brooklyn says, "Sorry, can't make Friday night." Okay, I'm an observant Jew. I absolutely respect that. I respect that. Shout out to Real Thing. Hey, Real Thing, wagwan. Okay, so I guess you guys are having a little friendly competition here. All right, let's get into this. I mean, yeah, the state did not have the facts to back it up, but what I like about Hilton's closing is the fact that she did not give up. Okay, she did not give up. She still, we actually, I think we need to watch. No, but if we watch that closing, I still have an open tab of that closing. If we watch that closing, we're not going to get to everything that we need to get to. Okay, so folks that did not tune in yesterday, or if you're in and out, what we are going to be moving into, because obviously there's going to be some delay between now and the next, what is this, YSL trial. We are going to basically put ourselves in a good position to follow the, what's his name again? The Idaho 6, what's his name? Koberger, Brian Koberger, right? We're going to put ourselves in a position to be able to understand and follow the proceedings in that case. So in the next few weeks, probably in the next 2 weeks, I need to take time off work. I only have 2 vacation days left, which kind of sucks, but I'm going to take time off work. I'll communicate in due course, and then we will go over what has occurred in that case so far. As you know, we anticipate a trial. I believe that's next summer. But I also really want to. I'm also interested in the YNW Melly. Let me just double check, because I was of the opinion that that trial is in February, but I think Ali said that she mentioned a different time. So let me see. Okay, I'll search that up while I play this video.
What I thought was important, she gave a very passionate closing.
Yeah.
I knew what she was doing. I was hoping that the
What's she doing?
jurors
Okay,
saw.
so I see here now. Actually, the trial has been moved to September. So this gives us I still never mind. I'm always random. I was about to say something really random about his last name. So at least the way that unless something really crazy happens, right? If something really, really crazy happens, the focus right now is on the Brian Koberger, and then we're gonna tie up some loose ends here. Greg, I have a question for you. I could have actually Googled this, but I didn't do it. So yeah. In any event, Greg, what I'm trying to figure out is on a MacBook, right? Am I Does a MacBook have the capability of me writing on some type of with some type of special pen on it, and the audience on here being able to view what I'm writing? The reason why I'd like to do that is because I would like to go over all the YSL defendants in this entire case. We're basically going to try and map out who took an offer, obviously the ones that were acquitted, and who is left in the charges that were dismissed and so forth. So that's what I'm trying to track. I just do not know how to do it. I mean, I'm sure somebody on Google or what is this, YouTube, has a video on how to do it, but I also don't have time to look it up. But let me know, is that a possibility? And shout out to Greg. Shout out to FFS. Let's
it the way I was hoping they were going to see it, which was
that I know that's not me. That cannot be. That's not my device.
It was essentially, and it was great, but it was kind of like a Hail Mary to try to make.
Yeah, but that was a great closing. I'm sorry that a lot of people might disagree, but from a trial perspective, that was it was fantastic.
Up for lost times, as Mr. Box was saying, but with that emotional appeal, I thought it was. I'm probably going to mess up my dates, but My recollection is that was right before the Thanksgiving break.
Was it?
So
Yeah.
I
Right.
was concerned about if that emotional appeal was made and then the jurors were going to like immediately decide. But they had the Thanksgiving break to kind of bring them back to.
Right. That was also obviously what's her name? I was gonna say Aileen Cannon, but that's not her name. Paige Whitaker, right? I did not like that Thanksgiving break, the in between break. I would have preferred, if I was an attorney in this case. Let me put it this way: if I was part of the prosecutor in this case, I would have. I mean, Paige was not going to listen to any of these people, and the what is this? What is this? The jurors definitely wanted to return to their normal lives, but I would have probably fought for closings after the Thanksgiving break so that they could jump right into deliberations. That's what I would have asked for, but they had also used up all their time, so, and they did not even have facts to really go by. But that's just tactics. So, all right.
Reality and let that emotional appeal kind of dissipate and get back to the evidence.
Right.
And once I knew that we were into that Thanksgiving break and they were going to be thinking on it, I felt a lot better about the situation.
Yeah. And somebody says the way, this is Queen Valerie, says the way Bots feels about the witnesses is how we feel about the state. They were against the men we were fighting for. I love you, Bots. But
thank you.
I don't know what to make of that statement, but okay.
And I think the answer to this is clearly no. But can you help with getting Montauk out? I mean, is there any kind of appeal options for him on this probation revocation that landed him in prison for 5 years?
I think that there may be. It's not lost on me that he's serving about as much time as anyone that was on this case at this
Greg,
point.
what do you mean December 17th? I thought that earlier this week, Paige Whitaker said that the trial would start in February and it would be a 3-month trial and not a 2-year trial. That's my recollection. Brooklyn says it means state didn't have a plan or game plan and just threw the ball. If it sticks, it's good. If not, then they lose. They did not have the evidence to begin with. Hey, FFS, what's up? What time did you get up though? Because I'm surviving off of 3-4 hours of sleep. But I mean, I am in good spirits. I'm in good spirits because I did not drink any beer. I'm drinking my. This is called Starry. I wanted to say Sprite. I don't even know because I know random stories, but I was trying to figure out today, when did they start making Starry? Because I bought the 7-ounce 7.5 ounce little cans though, and this thing flatlines. It flatlines like after 30 seconds. You cannot just take a sip and put it aside. Like it just flatlines. In event, I'm a little tired, but I feel I don't know. I still have energy, so I'm good. All right, let's see. Okay, so Brooklyn says the Brian Thompson case is exploding. Please cover it. Is that the case out of Mississippi? Because let me see, who's Brian Thompson? Is that the case out of Mississippi? Let's see. I'll just Google quickly. Brian Thompson. Oh, you mean, never mind. This is the what's his name? The CEO. Brooklyn, let me think about it because I prefer to cover cases because there's more to work with, right? But as far as this, I also don't want to say crazy things because that's kind of my method. I do say very unorthodox things, but I did see that they found the backpack. I guess I could give updates here and there. They found the backpack. This guy was kind of sloppy, and the girl apparently at what's the place at some hostel got him to reveal his face. So we can get into that eventually. I think covering that, I'd rather put a different spin on it. I'd rather focus on the insurance side of what is this? I guess just the insurance side of policies. Maybe that would be a good angle, but let me think about it. Okay, so Brooklyn said only on a tablet. All right. Okay, so only on a tablet. My kid has a tablet, but she's not she's not gonna go for it. Okay, FFA says iPad Pro, so I guess I'm out of luck. I only know about Windows, okay. FFA says Microsoft Surface. Unfortunately, I don't have that, but that is something to look into, as you know, as we grow on this channel. So Real Thing said, wait, are you saying Hilton's closing was good? Absolutely. If you've heard me, I'm gonna put a link in here. You can come up here. You can come up here, Real Thing. I've covered that, or at least we've covered that closing over probably a 2-day period. We're still not done with it, but we can pick it up tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Hilton's closing was good. Hilton's closing was good. And Real Thing says, I respectfully disagree. The way they what? There were way too many misinterpretations and theories that didn't make sense. Not to mention, she was too loud at the latter end of her presentation. I think it was a good. I think it was a good closing, and the reason why I stand by the fact that that was a good closing is because when I initially watched the closing, when we reacted to the closing on here, because Jasmine, everybody was excited. They're like, "You need to watch this," but Jasmine was like, "No, you need to watch this from the very end." And at the very end, that girl was turned up. Okay, she was turned up. She was out there rapping and dancing and doing all types of things. And then Jerome came in the chat. Jerome suspected she was from Philly. There was confirmation that she was from Philly. There was excitement. So when I watched that, it was out of context. But the following day, I watched. I mean, I'm still not done. Let me. I need to put my glasses back on. I'm trying to figure out. I think this was the closing. Wasn't 166? I had stopped at 10. No, no, no. I'm not reading that right. Yeah, there's about an hour and a half left of that closing that I did not get to watch, but I also did jump around. The reason why I thought it was a good closing is because I was basing it off of what I wanted her to do in the rebuttal after Max Shardt and what's his name, and Doug Weinstein. And the first thing that I noted that Simone was supposed to do, I wanted her to apologize to the jurors, which she did. She did not apologize directly. It was an indirect apology for the time that this trial took, and I thought that was a good approach. I also like the fact that she started off on a lighter note and she made them laugh. I thought that was a good approach. I like how, because if you're just watching clips of the closing, she looked batshit crazy. Okay, she looked batshit crazy. But I like the progression and the way it led up to guess we'd call it a climax. But I absolutely loved Simone's closing. And who's this? Bots also agreed, and so did Shard. So that was a good closing. And I also like the fact that she did not um, give up. The case it was a dog. The case was a dog to begin with, without Woody and Lil D. But I just like the fact that she did not crumble. I like people that stand their grounds. I like people that don't give up, even when they're facing. I mean, she was kind of defeated, but the fact, the fact did not line up. Their witnesses were. I don't know. I'm not even going to call them anything, but I like the fact that she persevered. I like the fact that she put her big gold pennies on, and she went out there and she did her thing. And you do say she was too loud. There are different styles of doing it. There have been attorneys that have done far worse. It's usually criminal defense attorneys, though. There was a jurisdiction that I worked in where this guy was known. He was an older guy, an older gentleman, and he was known for getting on the ground and getting into like a Buddha pose and flailing. Like people have done a lot of. Actually, we need to go on Reddit. Do we have time to go on Reddit? I don't know. Because, anyways, if you do have time, check out the Public Defender subreddit. It's very interesting. The type of stories that people reveal on there are pretty intriguing. You can also check out Big Law. There are also very interesting stories on there. And I think on Wednesday there was, I always get distracted. On Wednesday there was a discussion on here, and the discussion was something along the lines of the craziest things that folks have ever seen in court. I'm gonna have to look. What happened to my? Dang, did I sign out of Reddit? I signed out of Reddit. I don't even know my password. I never know my passwords to anything. Well, I'll have to figure it out and log back in. But there was a great discussion on there as to strange things or questionable things that attorneys have done in courtrooms before. And when I was a prosecutor, there was this. Uh, he was a criminal defense attorney, and that man was always yelling. He was really old. I was gonna say, I wonder if he's still alive, but he was. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because he was pretty old back then, and yeah, he was always loud in court. He was always loud. He was always acting up. But I later on realized that the reason why he was as passionate as he was is because even though he had a losing case, even though he had a dog, even though his client was getting convicted, from a layperson's perspective, it actually appears as if he is fighting and he knows what he's doing. But folks, got most of his people did get convicted. Okay. So FFS says you can use a MacBook to show drawings. Right, but I want to. We'll figure it out. We'll get to it. FFS, you have to first make the drawing on the iPad, insert it into a. There's the answer. That's what I need. Okay, so I can use my daughter's what is this? iPad, write out everything that I need to. Oh, we need to find the pen first. I don't know where it is. But write out everything we need to write out, and then I can send it to myself. That's brilliant. Okay, yep, Brooklyn. Yep. Brooklyn. What do you mean that's so dirty? What are you referring to? Greg says I think the guy has left the country. Why do you think that? Because when I tuned in earlier today, there were mentions of him ending up at, I'm going to call it Ports Authority. I don't think that's actually what it's called in New Jersey. But there were mentions of he could have been in Pennsylvania. And I read something earlier that he had ties to Atlanta. And I'm like, oh, man, not the ATL. Real Thing says Shardt is being nice. He has to say her closing was good. That is fair. Shout out to Old Bag. Where have you been, fam? I cannot believe you have a life outside of us. All right. Greg says, I think Juror 56 was a big influence on the rest. That is without a doubt. Yeah. When I heard that he was four-person, I'm like, yeah, it's over. It's over. He's trying to, and that's usually what you need. And that's why I'm glad that 56, or at least the jury, not the jury, the defense, I mean, they would be very stupid if they wanted 56 off. But it was very obvious that 56 was going to side with the defendant. And overall, four-persons tend to be folks with bigger personalities than the rest of the jurors. So yeah, I do agree. Okay, yeah. Old Bag definitely missed a lot. I know, right? That was great. I mean, FFS, feel free to join if you'd like. No pressure. Brooklyn says she did a great closing, and personally think that Doug, without Max or Harvey Adams just alone, he couldn't have tried the case by himself. Only even for yeah, Gotti, I completely agree with that. I agree with that sentiment. It's obvious. And even when I was criticizing Doug in the manner that I was criticizing him, I knew nothing about that man. But one thing that was very obvious is that he had zero experience trying criminal cases. Um, So let's see. Let's see. Oh, bag is so funny. All right, let's see. Hold on. I'll catch up with these. I'll catch up with these messages. Let's just listen to this.
Point. And it's sad because it seems like, as a Judge Whitaker acknowledged, that he was kind of turned the page in his life already and was doing what he was supposed to be doing. So,
all right. So old bag. I guess we will talk about the I guess we'll talk about the CEO guy. We'll get into it tomorrow. I'm not. I don't know. You guys should tell me a sense of time. Tomorrow, I do have a lot of, I wouldn't call it free time, but tomorrow I am dedicating the day to YouTube. I need to delete some of my videos and I need to redo some of my videos. Okay, so we can hang out. I can give you guys. I mean, I do give you guys 4 hours even on a regular day. But tomorrow we do have a lot of free reign, so that would be a good day to cover. What's his name again? Thompson. Somebody. Yeah, I'm terrible with names.
I don't. I think that there's probably something that can be done. I don't think it's necessarily. It would be a little bit messy for any of the attorneys.
All right, so real thing, because real thing is saying that I'll wait until you finish reacting to the remainder of Hilton's closing to state my opinion. Do you want to do that tomorrow? If you want to do that tomorrow, tell me. Let me know of a time that works for you, and then we can do that. And then since Hilton's closing is not the main topic, real thing, we are chaotic over here, okay? And because we are chaotic over here, we can move from topic to topic, case to case. We talk about pets, dogs, cats, and everybody in between. Last night we ended up talking about firearms, and that's how I know that I need to pat down Ellie and Jasmine every single time. Okay, all right, let's go.
Involved in the case to be the ones that argue for him. I think that there's probably some conflicts.
All right.
Yeah. And somebody asked about how. Let me see if I can pull it up. How does it feel being defense attorneys and the public being on your side? Last question, I promise, but we'll do that one as I find the other one.
All right. Do you guys mind if I just go to the very beginning of this interview? Is there any protest? I know FFS is going to protest because I thought that the entirety of this, I'd say 11-minute video, I thought it was, entirely talking about the closing, but that was just a short glimpse. Ooh, listen, I know random stories. Before I got back into YouTube again, I think I've been doing this consistently maybe for a month or maybe 3 weeks. I don't know. Every Friday when I did my laundry, I'd watch the first 48. That's used to. Anyways, I don't know. Do people on here? Okay, so no protest. Thank you, real thing. Do folks on here watch? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. I want to see if I don't think there's any hindrance to reacting to a first 48 video, but there's a really, really, really crazy video. It's probably one of the craziest first 48 videos I've ever watched, and I sent it to a good friend of mine, but she lives in London, and I don't know, I guess their government does not want them watching a whole bunch of mess, and she could not watch it. But I've been meaning to share that with folks. That is one of the craziest first, I guess they're really two. Now that I think about the other one, I think out of Ohio. Anyways, now I'm just rambling. Let's get back to Megan. Was it a live recorded video? Let's see. Was it a live video? I guess not. Let me find it. Let's find. Granny was up here. I know somebody's probably telling me it's a live video, and I'm just out here trying to figure this out. Oh, but I mean, they did have comments on there, or whatever they're called. So that must have been a live video. Here we go. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
There we go. Man,
welcome to the live.
These goddamn
welcome to the live. We are ready for an interview here. Are you guys ready for some YSL trial
we're
wrap
gonna
up?
skip
video or something again. So something else.
Yeah.
And apparently there's different colors.
Oh, wait, what's the question?
It's 2 p.m. in Atlanta, and we're what? So that's a good 48 hours plus a few hours removed from the verdict, right? So many of us watched this from around the country and even around the world. We weren't there at the courthouse. Can you?
I'll give you guys like, what is this? We have about maybe an hour and a half. I know we're gonna go longer than that, but 9 p.m. sharp Eastern time. I have to get off here. All right, let's get into this though.
Tell us what it was like at the courthouse. I mean, do you remember? Did you black out?
It was
Let me look up David Botts.
so my recollection is probably going to be a little different than Mr. Botts. This is so we were in there. There was a status conference on the remaining clients, defendants, that weren't in the first trial. So so I was just, I was excited to see some of the young men that were initially with us. That Mr. Mender, Mr. Garlington, who I've known, and so and others. And so I was just kind of being nosy. Mr. Bosch was with me, and then the light went on from the jury room. And I never knew this because I usually don't sit in the courtroom waiting on a verdict. I'm usually doing something else.
All right.
Yeah.
And apparently there's different colors.
Okay.
So the light was blue, and one of the DAs who I'm friendly with says, "Oh, don't
That
worry.
says a lot.
Blue just means a jury question."
Mhm.
I said, "Okay, well, we don't have a verdict. It's just a jury question." So the judge kind of ended the status conference for those other gentlemen, and then all of a sudden we took center stage, and she said,
Greg, are you saying that you want me to do that right now in lieu of watching this interview? If so, do other folks agree or not?
"We have a verdict. We have two verdicts."
Mm.
And I was just like, "What?"
Yeah.
Like I just wasn't expecting that, because I was expecting them to ask us to play some
Right.
video or something again. So I was like, "Okay." So then I looked at Shannon, and I was like, "I guess we have a verdict, Shannon." And then she read it so quickly for Mr. Kendrick.
Right.
Yeah. It was amazing.
And then the date thing, I
What day?
figured that out pretty quickly. I was like, wait a second, they found Mr. Kendrick not guilty
Right.
yesterday, and I've noticed them kind of focusing on Shannon, but I was thinking there's no way they could have different verdicts for the 2015 case.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I felt good about
Right.
that. And then the judge said, "We have a guilty verdict on count 64."
Okay.
And I said, "Okay." And I was like 90% sure. My mind just left for a minute about
Yeah.
what count 64 was. Of
Right.
course, I
Mhm.
knew it, but it just wasn't computing at that
Right.
moment. So then if you look, I went over to Doug and I said, "You can't hear it," but I said, "Doug, count 64 is the gun charge, right?" And
Yeah.
he was like, "Yeah." And he was
Yeah.
happy, and he said, "I think so." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So, but it worked out, and it was kind of a blackout moment.
What I like about the interactions between Shardt and SB when the jury when the verdict was read is the fact that it's actually SB that reacted first. What I mean by that is that it's SB that I guess hugged Shardt. And the reason why that's important is because even Meg Shardt is obviously the attorney. He might be excited about the client only being convicted on the gun charge, but if the client's not excited about that, then it's kind of it's an issue. So I like the fact that he waited for his client to. It was kind of a delayed reaction, but the client reacted before he embraced him. So
What do you remember, Mr. Botts?
Oh, I got
What I
it.
remember was
let's see. Did Greg say something? Greg said when you finish this video, that'll that will be tomorrow. Because as I said, tonight I have to end at 9 p.m. Eastern time. I'd like to give myself at least 15 minutes to get ready, but I know it's hard to believe I actually do have a family, okay? So I'd like to hang out with them for a little bit. But tomorrow we do have Greg, aren't you supposed to be in the UK or something? What time? I need to ask. I could ask what's her name, Alexa, but let's see. What time is it in, I'll just say London. Oh, it's midnight. Okay, that, I do stay up around midnight sometimes.
The judge said we have a guilty on the gun charge, count 64, and not guilty on all the other charges.
Uh-huh.
That's exactly what she said. And so that was, to me, a major win.
Right.
Did you know at that moment? Did you? Because my mind just kind of left. Wasn't
Oh, no,
100%. You knew.
And
Okay.
I said, whoa, because I was expecting, once you hear guilty,
You're
you
right.
say, oh, God, what's the next thing going to
Right,
be?
right, right.
What's the other charge? But she just immediately followed that with a not guilty on all other charges.
That girl was
which
not
is how
playing.
the jury wrote the verdict. And so immediately I began to think, oh, God, he's going to get the maximum
Yeah,
on the gun charge.
right.
Mm-hmm.
State was asking to treat him as a recidivist.
Mm-hmm.
And the judge said, well, I have to give him the maximum as a recidivist.
Right.
However, I can probate
Yeah.
some of it.
That was fantastic.
And
I
so
liked.
instead, she said, I'll give you the 10 years, which is the maximum,
Right.
to serve 2 years, credit for time served, which he'd already served.
Right. And what I liked about that sentencing is because who's this? Page did not penalize SB for exercising his right to have a public trial. It sometimes, I don't know, Brooklyn. I know you do family law, but I don't know. I'd like to assume you at least have some type of interactions with criminal defense attorneys, maybe even assistant DAs. But there tends to be a trend where some judges penalize defendants for taking a case to trial. Some judges actually do that. If you take the prosecution to trial, then when they sentence you, sometimes it's not a fair, or at least the sentence is disproportionate. But I like the way that she was consistent as far as the sentence that the other defendants in this case received. So I like that about her.
And Max, before that verdict was reached, he asked to approach the judge, approached and said, if you're going to give him time, it's going to be a death sentence. You've got to give him, you got to do something.
Okay, I need an explanation. I guess this was the sidebar. I'd like to know why Max Shardt thought that would have been a death sentence. I guess they're going to be fighting in there. So, all right.
He said he noticed on the podium a sentencing manual that she had in front of her. And so he felt pretty good, and she kind of smiled and sent us back down for the sentencing. So it was actually a surprise all the way around for all of us. But probably the prosecution was more surprised than we were.
Well, I'll say this just to put it in perspective. I had a feeling after when I went back, I had a feeling things were going to work out.
Okay.
But I want the public to understand, and I said this to the press the day of the verdict in sentencing.
Okay, so Real Thing says, personally, I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback on surviving YSL jurors and the opinions of Miss Love, Hilton, and Vivarito. Okay, so we can do that tomorrow. Just let me know what works for you when you guys are available, and I'll show up then.
Judges, typically, when you go to trial, their just instinct is to give the maximum. Like, you dared challenge the state. Some people call it a trial.
And I've not watched. I mean, Max and I are kind of echoing, or at least we are kind of echoing what the other person's saying. But I've not watched this. What is this? This interview before. The only things that I've watched on here is what we've watched before, and I don't even think it was much. We probably watched one video or something along those lines. But it's obvious that the system works the same across all jurisdictions. I mean, it's a spectrum, right? But overall, it appears as though the system does work the same across the board.
tax, and everyone says there's no trial tax,
Yeah.
but in my experience, there is one.
Right.
Yeah.
So Judge Whitaker was
FFS, you
so
are playing around. No, we cannot do 11 p.m. That's crazy. we cannot do 11 p.m. We have work the following day. So let's see. Anything after 1 p.m. All right. So let's do. I need to go grocery shopping. You guys will find out my schedule. I go grocery shopping every Sunday. So I would say we'll probably start around 2 or 3 p.m. I'll schedule it in advance. So around 2 or 3 p.m.
thoughtful in not just saying, okay, maximum 10 years.
Right.
You take your 10 years. And I just thank her for that. And I give her so much credit for, understanding the totality of this case
Yeah.
and understanding that the jury completely rebuked
Right.
all those other charges. And we're just dealing with one gun charge,
Right.
and that was the appropriate sentence.
Right.
Because, other judges may have said, well, he was charged with all these other things, so I'm giving him the maximum. And that's not what she did. And we are so thankful for
insane.
that. And that was very,
but we also have to realize that, who's this? What's her name? Now I'm acting like Star. We have to realize that, Paige Whitaker was working under a microscope. And she was working under a microscope after, who's this? Glenville had already, I don't even want to call it a mess up. I have no idea what Glenville was doing. So the fact that this trial is public, the fact that, and she's coming into this trial already knowing the attention that the trial has garnered. Okay. So I'm not insinuating that she would have sentenced him differently had it not been as widely broadcasted as it has been. But that is another factor to consider. The fact that, this thing is being streamed all over YouTube, and even Greg that's out there in the UK is watching this, that I'd like to say to an extent did play into how she conducted herself on the bench, as well as the sentence that she gave. But I think that was, without a doubt, that was a fair sentence.
That was not the easy thing to do.
And it sounded like for the people at home, there was a discussion up at the bench that we didn't see on camera, but that made you feel a little bit better going into the sentencing that she wasn't going to do that, right? Wasn't going to get the max. Can we be clear on that? This was like a
I'm not going to go into the specifics about what was said. I mean, it's going to be on a transcript, I'd imagine, because it was on the record. But I left that discussion. Let's just put it this way: I went back, I elbowed Shannon in the left ribs, as I'm prone to do, and I said, "Shannon, it's going to be okay."
Yeah. Wow. And when you said you told the judge that any kind of sentence could be a death sentence for him, is that just because of the safety and the conditions of the jail or the prison, or is it also because he had been acquitted of these charges and that could kind of put a mark on him in prison? Can you explain that?
At trial, we heard about 2 different attempts on his life. We also know that he was stabbed in the jail.
Okay, so let's see. Real Thing says that makes sense because she has received the most pushback and disapproval for the 5 years she gave Mungtung. So the fact that, the fact, who's this? Folks, the judge, the attorneys in this case, everybody else, even the defendants, they were not sequestered. So basically they could, they had free reign to read, observe whatever it is that folks were saying. So I do believe that the fact that, I'm thinking, but I'm also talking, but I'm also thinking, and I'm trying to form my thought. Well, I do agree with you, Real Thing. And then, hey, Allie, what's up? All right.
We were never seriously considering a plea.
Okay.
But the understanding always, if there was going to be a plea, there was going to be facilitation from different agencies to make sure special accommodations were made
Right.
for Shannon.
Okay.
So my concern was, if we're going to do the sentencing today, and it's going to be a sentence that's going to lead to incarceration, we can't do it today, because we have to get everything in place
Right.
to facilitate that and keep him safe. But after that discussion, I felt like I was worrying about something I didn't need to worry about.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I just need to sit down and let the sentence happen.
Because it seems pretty common in at least southern states that you have this kind of sentencing right after the verdict. Is that true? Is that pretty standard?
I don't know. I'm trying to think back. Is that the norm in southern states? I don't know. Let me give it some more thought.
In Georgia State Court that you see that, or is there usually prep time because you have issues that you want to argue about, like you were saying?
No, it's very common
really?
to do it right after. I'm trying to think. There may have been a couple cases where it hasn't happened immediately, but that I can think of. But it's definitely 99.9. It's right afterwards.
That's kind of different.
Yeah. So one of my questions was going to be about what was it like getting from point A to point B when you heard that there was a question or there was a verdict. But as you said, you were already in the courtroom when that happened.
Give her a like.
When you weren't in the courtroom, when you were waiting for the jury, where were you? Was there an attorney room where you all were, or can you kind of talk about the tension of that, what you did?
Well, there was an attorney room, if you want to call it that. It was kind of like a cubby hole.
Why did they look at each other?
Mr. Botts didn't seem too stressed.
No, I felt pretty good.
There has been, I did point out the moments when it was pretty obvious that Shardt was anxious, which is understandable given the circumstances.
Pretty good about the case. I really did. And and that's what I said to Shaq before that day began, was I said, they'll come back with a verdict today.
Can I tell them where everyone sat in the side room?
Where?
Mr. Botts had a couch. I'm just going to put it like that. We'll just leave it at that. Mr. Botts had a couch, and Doug. It was funny because Doug is the social media guy, so he's sitting there. Mr. Botts is
resting,
taking a rest throughout the whole process in the side room on the couch, and Doug is just jabbering on with people from across the nation, talking about who knows what on something live.
Yeah.
And luckily I can work with snoring and talking.
Oh no,
going on in the background. So I was just working on other cases for those days.
I need complete
silence.
So
it was the three of us, and then Shaq and Youssef, who is an intern that works for Mr. Harvey. He came, he wanted to be part of the team and stick with us. So that was awesome. And so it was the three of us, and then Youssef and Shaq. I think that was
yeah. That was it.
FFS, how can you tell who's in here? I've still not, I actually did not look into it, but I don't know.
Somebody says, Dee says, domino effect happening. 6 defendant charges dismissed today. You and Doug didn't just help your clients. So many others are winning because of y'all too. How does that feel to read that comment? And can you take responsibility?
I don't even know what whose charges was on this case?
I did see Damone Blaylock's RICO charge was dismissed. I haven't seen the others, but I have not been keeping up in the last couple of hours. Okay. But I did see Thugger Daily report had the paperwork for Damone Blaylock's RICO charge being dismissed. So it sounds like there could be.
Do we know who Thugger Daily is? It's a real person, but have they revealed their identity or not?
Could be others. Was that expected? Was there any talk about that?
There was no talk about the other gentlemen. Yeah. We were in our own universe. We knew that they were at the jail, except for Mr. Farley. But there was no discussion about anything like that. The one thing I'll say,
I guess during my time, I won't really have time off. I'll have a day, and then I'll be cleaning and sorting out toys and stuff. But during that time, I think on the day that I am off, let me look at my calendar. It's probably going to be the 16th. On that day, that would be a great day to get into Farley a little bit, like basically touch on his case. That would be, yeah. I think that's a week. Yeah, I think that's sufficient time to do some digging and research.
Is people have a lot of problems with
I'm writing that down.
Rico, and I get it. We know when Rico kind of came to prominence, it was definitely not this situation that we dealt with in this case. A lot of people have problems with the way it was used.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Ultimately, people vote and make decisions and choose, who's going to use. But as attorneys, all we can do.
Old bag is so funny. Old bag is doing what? Feeding your goats and pigs. What, do you live on a farm? Let's see. Okay, so came on a live today but didn't show his face. He did speak out to his involvement and how he got involved with this case. I'd like to see it. I'll probably do that while I'm taking a shower though. But okay. All right, good to know. Thank you.
Do is just make it as difficult as possible. If you're gonna bring a Rico, we just gonna fight you every.
Man, I like Meg Shardt. Meg Shardt is this is what you call a defense attorney. I've said over and over again, if the prosecution is bringing a case as criminal defense, public defender, your job is to really make it difficult for the prosecution to get a conviction. If the prosecution is going to get a conviction, they're going to get that conviction because they actually work for it. Okay, and that's part of the reason why. Never mind, I'll leave that alone.
Fight for every inch,
right?
And just make it is because
right.
while it gives in some ways gives the state great advantage, we can also fight
funny.
tooth and nail, and I think we did that, not just us, but all the attorneys, to make it a lot less palatable that they're going to try these other gentlemen, in a similar way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because one issue I've seen, and at least in this case, is, I mean, the Georgia Criminal Defense Bar and the number of attorneys who could take this case on, especially when you've got 28 defendants, was limited. So, I mean, it's almost like you got your domino effect is kind of helping the fact that maybe there weren't enough attorneys to go around. It's like if you can just eliminate some cases by the lawyering of attorneys in one case, there you go. But do you think you've inspired some a kind of change in the Georgia Defense Bar, or maybe kind of a rekindling of people who want to be defense attorneys in Atlanta?
I don't know. Most of the attorneys that I ran into were just like, it was just expressions of sorrow throughout this process. Like, Max, I'm sorry that you're still in this case. And,
does anybody know? I know I'd lost track of, definitely. He is quite impressive. I lost track of the conversation, I believe, the night before, which would have been Thursday. Does anybody know how much, who's this, Max or any of the attorneys in this case were paid?
I always say, no, it's not bad. I kind of liked it in many ways. But yeah, I don't think that necessarily we've inspired a bunch of attorneys that are going to be signing on to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. I did not understand.
I don't think that's
what that question.
That's going to happen. But
I see. State filed motions to Nole Presquel. All of the, I'm probably mispronounced it. All the charges for Cleef Adams.
No
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Damone. Okay, dismiss. Damone Blaylock, Javaris Bradford, Justin Cobb, Javon Fleetwood, and Jaden Myrick. Some of them were charged with murder, weren't they?
Mr. Bradford was.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me I'm gonna take a screenshot of this. Hold on. I did not have to tell you guys that, but you need to know. You need to know why I paused. I'm gonna do some research. All right.
Adams.
No, Cleef Adams was.
Well, he was.
Javaris Bradford was. And I never really understood what that murder charge is based on. So that's awesome. Mr. Cobb, I don't think he's even. I don't even know where he is or if he's been arrested, but apparently that solves that problem. And then, the other thing that we have these 28 names on this indictment, and the idea that this is a RICO enterprise, and I understand that under the laws of RICO, everyone doesn't need to know everyone, but
Yeah.
in reality, if we're going to hold people accountable for the acts of others, you would think that people would know each other. And just look at just look at the ages and the age range of this. It's like two different generations of
Right.
young men that grew up on Cleveland Avenue. Really, it's almost like three different if you get into Antonio Sledge.
That's
and some of the
exactly.
older guys.
I caught myself. I caught myself, but I did want to talk about Moon Tung a little bit because that age gap was just, it was very, very questionable. FFS, I need to know. Oh, by the way, FFS, did you listen to Vince Staples last night or not? If you did, or if anybody else did, let me know what you thought about those two songs. Let's see, what are you guys saying? Oh, and here's the question for everybody in the chat. I would like to know, because to me, when I found out that Moon Tung at his big age was hanging out with his little kids, and I guess I don't want to completely blame him and say that he was influencing them, but the age gap, uh, it was just questionable to me. That age gap was questionable to me. Let's see. Okay, you guys are talking to each other, so I'm not gonna read that. Um, so Mr. Bots is really into the chat. Oh, do you think he was reading? Is that what he was doing? And then real thing, yes, on the Fit Lawyer channel, China Nichols talked about researching, selecting, and paying Bruce Harvey over $100,000 for Quay's defense. Sheesh. All right. I guess now I need to look up. Hold on. I need to look up. I need to look up. Let me look up. I just want to look at the firm structure or Bruce Harvey's. I guess we can just. Never mind. I'm not going to share the screen because then I'm just going to be going back and forth. But let's quickly look up Bruce Harvey ATL. Let's see. Does he have other folks working for him? Because that does make a difference. I don't know. Is this all you have on your channel, Mister? Oh, not your channel. What am I saying? Your. I don't know. Is this? Guess this is all he has on his. Is this him? He's on some website out here called Steve. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I need to get back. Let me stay on track. Okay, so I'm on Harvey's law firm. The only thing I see here, I mean, he's listed as a principal founder. There's no indication if he has other folks that work under him or not. Because the thing is with what is this? Criminal defense attorneys are not rainmakers, okay? They're not rainmakers. What I mean by that, there is there are flat fees. There's also a cap. If you're going to bill hourly, there's usually a cap on how much you can bill. Things might be different in Georgia, so I'm not going to speak um, for Georgia. But considering that this case took a significant amount of time, most criminal defense attorneys, I know I'm jumping up and down. Most criminal defense attorneys, if you are exclusively doing criminal defense work, most of your work is going to come from the assigned counsel program. What that means is that in some there are some jurisdictions that don't have public defenders offices. In such jurisdictions, criminal defense attorneys definitely can make a lot of money, but it's not. Here's the thing. I need to stop saying things aren't a lot of money because yeah, I just need to stop saying that because yesterday, I know I'm gonna get into another story, but it's not just yesterday or the day before. I don't know when it is. There's always a conversation. Me and my partner always have a conversation, and whenever we talk about something, I'm always like, "That's not a lot of money," but oftentimes it is a lot of money. So I need to correct myself. I need to stop saying money is not a lot of money because oftentimes it is a lot of money. Okay, but let me compare it this way. Criminal defense attorneys usually do not make as much money as the real rainmakers. Okay, what I mean by real makers, there's a firm out of DC. Let me just find it here. It was the Gene case. Let me find it. This was on. Where's that? I know I took it down. The problem is I take so many screenshots. Like I take screenshots of everything: buckets, cows, old bags, pigs, and goats. What's that case? It was a huge case that recently settled in. There we go, in DC. This is a firm. What's the name of the law firm? It's called the Washington Law Firm PC. And this was an announcement an attorney made. It's more of a post, it's not a real announcement. But the attorney's name is Daryl Washington. Okay. So he had taken on the case of what is this? It was the former police officer. Her name was Amber Geiger, the one that offed Botham Jean, if you remember the case. Okay. In that case, the jury reached a verdict. The verdict was 98 million, like 98 million, okay? Not 9 million, 98,650,000. That's how much they got. And if we are going to go by, what is this? A third, usually contingent agreements are a third. I've never seen an attorney take, what is this, half or take 60 and take 60 and give a client the other 40% or whatever. Usually it's a third of the award. So in this case, this attorney was able to secure at least $32 million for his firm, maybe more depending on what case costs are. A criminal defense attorney, regardless of jurisdiction, is not going to make this amount of money. So the reason why I was interested in knowing how much they got paid is because if you are working as a solo practitioner, you have nobody else, or you have no other attorneys assisting with the caseload. A case like this is going to suck up all of your resources. And if you have a family, it does matter how much you're making because you might have a mortgage, you might have rent, kids, extracurricular activities, things of that nature. And obviously, again, you have other cases that you have to, basically keep pushing forward. All right, so let's see. FFS, I think you guys are just talking to each other. So let me move. Now I'm lost. Okay, now I'm now I'm lost. Um, okay, so Harvey's a partner at ABT Law Firm. I see on this website. So why on this? I found because when I just searched for his name, it said the law office of Bruce S. Harvey, and this does look like him. Yeah, this does look like him. I mean, sometimes you have solo practitioners that are off counsel for other firms. So maybe that might be the arrangement here. And then Real Thing says, well, Harvey had Nicole Westmoreland and another attorney. I forgot his name. I absolutely adore. Yeah, Nicole was, she is really the catalyst to those pleas that were rolled out. And you can't unring 100 bells. Yeah, I mean that is a common saying. Now I need to look her up because the only people I really looked up were Shardt and Doug. Let's see, Nicole Westmoreland, attorney. She's on TikTok. That's all that's popping up for her, just TikTok. So, all right. I don't see a firm or anything here, just TikTok. All right. Okay, so FFA says scratch that. Not a partner. He's with the ABT firm. That makes sense because if you have other attorneys working on other cases, then you can guarantee that everybody at least gets paid at the end of the day. Okay, so Real Thing says Harvey is a highly respected OG lawyer in Georgia. He may be a rainmaker. I disagree. Criminal defense attorneys do not make the kind of money. When we say rainmaker, and that's what I'm saying, I should not say that a certain amount is not a lot of money, but in comparison to personal injury, they don't make as much because you are. And here is my thing. Here's why I went into public defense. I I mean, I am a socialist. Okay, now you know something about me. I'm a socialist, but do not I do not want to get money from folks who really have no money. Okay, if a lot of these folks, unless you're out there dealing drugs or something, or I don't know, in the oil industry, or I don't know if you have coin, not coins. What is it? Gold. If you have gold and diamonds and whatever it is that you're doing on the black market, most people you're going to find in a criminal defense system are indigent folks. And when that's who you represent, the bulk of your cases are going to come from what is this? Um, they're going to come from either a conflict. I mean, some offices do have conflict defenders, but a lot of these folks are going to be assigned by the courts, and you get a specific dollar amount um, for every hour that you work on the case. In my jurisdiction, I think for federal court, it might be $56 or something along those lines. So those folks, let me give you an example. You have a criminal defense attorney that is representing, I don't know, 100 people, that's representing 100 people, and they get paid, I don't know, $50 an hour or whatever, and there's a cap on how much it is that you can recover. And you compare that to somebody that does personal injury, that is only going to take motor vehicle accidents where the what is this, the policy is at least $100,000. Under those circumstances, this personal injury attorney, they can take, not every case is not term, it's not policy limits, right? But hypothetically, if this person took if they took on 10 cases, resolved 10 cases, and every policy is $100,000, once the case resolves, they get a third of that. So for every case they resolve, they get paid $33,000 and some change, which is different to being paid, I don't know, $50 or whatever for um, the other folks. And that's different because if you do personal injury and you represent somebody that was involved in a crash that involved a commercial vehicle, a truck, or whatever. Like, think of what's his name, Morgan. What's his last name? Man, the comedian, the actor, Morgan. He was involved in this. Was back then, like 2016, 2017. Morgan, actor, Tracy Morgan. There we go. I think that's his name, but let me look it up. I think it was Tracy Morgan. Right. Tracy Morgan. He was involved in a crash with some Walmart truck or something. And Walmart, it's not just Walmart, but overall, commercial vehicles have to adhere to a lot of federal regulations. And there's also just like regular vehicles, like personal vehicles, there's a minimum amount of insurance that they have to have on these vehicles. In this case, Morgan ended up with about $90 million. The attorney gets, what is it, a third of that. So yeah, a criminal defense attorney is not a rainmaker. Let's see. All right, what are you guys talking about? All right, Harvey, highly respected. Well, yes, I understand what you're saying. Personal injury is another stratosphere in terms of compensation. Yep. Max seems to be in it because he really wants to help others. So he's probably not making a lot. Uh, I mean, some of these folks, at least when what I've been following on Reddit, right? Because that's why I really follow some of those subreddits. Some folks have gone on to start law firms successfully. A lot of folks do share good advice. Every once in a while, you do find criminal defense attorneys on there that make $300,000 or $500,000, just as solo practitioners. So some people are better business minded than I guess the rest of us. Some of us are just into the law. All right. There. Shout out to Dig It. Dig It. You abandoned FFS here, and after you left, FFS came up here. I guess he was more comfortable when you were not here, or maybe he was just trying to show off what you missed out on. Okay, old old Beck says this is fun. What are you guys on about? All right. I get so distracted. Let's get back into, like, I know you guys come on here to like watch a video. So far I've done good. It's like 17 minutes. The rest of the time it's just me talking.
Guys, Demise McMullen. So it's a lot of these guys really didn't really have anything to do with Shannon Stillwell or Jeffrey Williams or anything. Like Jaden Myrick, he's was just a disturbed young man that was in the jail that apparently wanted to make some money, but no one knew who he was.
Yeah. You mentioned Antonio Sledge. Somebody questioned because it did seem like the prosecutors had really tried to figure something out in the last few months. I mean, their case was just way too big from the beginning, but we all saw the increased number of prosecutors, the presence of a body, the 19 witnesses in one day thing. But more significantly, we saw Antonio Sledge's probation revoked for not testifying in accordance to his plea deal. And we also saw Simone take a pretty pointed stance on during Antonio Sumlin's testimony and really use his plea deal to get him to say that YSL, she definitely used it to get him to say that YSL members sold drugs out of the web.
Yeah.
Did that kind of aggressive stance by prosecutors with Mongtong influence any kind of plea deal negotiations? I mean, did it scare people basically?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so, because I think I could be wrong, but what did we have? 5 or 6 plea deals kind of come in succession.
Yeah.
None of those, I think if it did anything, it made the attorneys take a hard line that we are not signing up to testify and we are not agreeing to factual acknowledgments, because none of those gentlemen signed any sort of acknowledgments to my knowledge and understanding. And so it's just, and I know.
Yeah, an old bag, that is just straight up greed. Like that is just greed. Okay, so FS says that's Cap. I came on yeah, okay, that is true. I guess you don't want to feud with Diggy. That is true, but listen, shout out to FFS, because FFS had us going. Because I was exhausted. I was just ready to call it a night, which I should have done. We should have stopped. Maybe not, because we did end up having a really good and productive conversation. But we probably should have stopped before we got to 3 a.m. And the reason for that is because I knew that I had a lot of work to get done this morning, and I am thriving. I'm not even going to call it surviving. I am thriving off probably 3.5 hours of sleep. Okay, because after the live, I was like, I'm always doing random shit. Like I was cleaning out the kitchen and all types of random things. But yeah, you definitely did bail. You did good. You did good. Okay. Oh my goodness. At least it was your phone and not you. All right. Well, I can delete it for you if you'd like. So Mac's phone number's on his website. We should call him. When I say I mean, why? Oh, bag. Why am I gonna call this busy man? like the man does not have real work. Why do you? Okay, let me find out. Why do you want me to call this man though? What am I gonna tell Max? What? Like I'd like to interview some messy people. By messy I mean I don't want to have a real discussion. I don't want to. I mean, I do get serious sometimes, but I don't want to have a serious discussion with. I really don't want to interview any of these YSL people because I just like to talk shit. So there we go. There we go.
Mr. Sledge's attorney.
I would actually like to talk to Kayla though, but that's just with Kayla, Jasmine up here. I'd love. Oh, that's funny. I'd love to do that. I'd love to have that conversation. But that's where it. Dang, where's Jasmine? So Jasmine says he did say all calls go to his direct cell phone. Hey, Jasmine, what's up? You can come up here if you'd like. Yeah, I don't. Listen, during COVID, during COVID, I used to do Social Security. I know I've had a lot of jobs. I'm one of the. I am a serial quitter though. If I'm just being honest, I'm one of those people that if I see something I don't like, I'm out of there. But any event, I used to represent folks on Social Security, so a lot of my work has been public service. During COVID, I did that. I don't. I'm trying to see. There must have been some way of forwarding calls. I don't know. People had my cell phone number. And when they had my cell phone number, they'd be wishing me happy Mother's Day and happy Easter and all types of random things. And I'm like, that's not why I gave you my phone. But in any event, I don't know that. I mean, some people do have my number now. I don't. Okay, but this time around, I know I'm talking, but I'm also thinking. This time around, oh, never mind. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah.
A great guy. He's a great attorney.
Who?
And where this really went wrong and how
Who?
Mr. Sledge ended up in this situation
Oh, okay.
is
Switch.
just everyone, state got up and said these guys are all dangerous when it was time to go for a bond hearing, which was unbelievable to me because no one's read the discovery like me except for maybe Brian.
Oh, Bag, you play too
And
much.
I still don't understand what Ghana did. And so,
Oh my goodness. Real thing, I actually thought about that. I did think about that. I thought to myself, if I had to interview somebody in this trial, it would have to be Simone. And the reason why is because I love to have a lot of fun, and I think she would be a fun person to interview. And we'll just, we'll go back and forth. I thought of that, but then I realized when I came to here's the thing with DA's offices, they always have a spokesperson. So somebody like Simone would not be able to um, be interviewed publicly or in private. Um, it's not something. I mean, this is Atlanta, this is Fulton County, so stranger things have happened. But typically, they have a spokesperson, or Fannie Willis is going to get up there and say whatever it is she has to say on behalf of the office. So they're kind of limited in terms of what they can do or say publicly. But if she does decide to go into public defense in a few years, not public defense, private practice, criminal defense in a few years, she would be fantastic to have a conversation with. Yeah, but I do actually like Simone.
so you're saying all these people are so dangerous they can't get bond. And then so you just have them in there, and the only way out, other than 2.5-year trial, is entering a plea, and then the state writes the factual acknowledgments and puts it in front of them, and then Mr. Sledge did sign it, but we use these terms. Oh, it was freely and voluntarily given. It wasn't coercion, but
does anybody watch the WNBA in here, or is that just me?
You're sitting in jail without bond, and you're being told if you sign a document, you go home. Like, if that's not coercion, I don't know what is. So that's just imagine being an attorney representing Mr. Sledge.
I'm hungry, you guys, so I'm gonna stop this in maybe 40-50 minutes because I need to eat and then I have things to do.
Where he wants to get home to his sick mother, he wants to get home to his kids, and you got these factual acknowledgments, and then you're trying to thread that needle to make it.
Okay, I did not know that what's her name, Fannie, makes her staff. I guess that is actually standard. Yeah, I was gonna say that it's uncommon, but that is incorrect. That is actually standard, and it's not just DA's offices. I had to sign an NDA for a criminal defense attorney. Let me see. Yeah, but typically they don't. and it's not just who's this. It's not just DA's offices. Trust and believe that I'm not saying that Kokomo signed an NDA, but he is restricted in terms of what he can say about the cases that he handles for Meg Shardt. That is standard. That is standard.
It happen, but also chip away at these and the states being difficult. And then you just come to the conclusion, well, let's do this and you can explain it later, which is what was said. And, you know, I can see that happen. But to me, it's not on
I'm going to mute my
attorney
mic. I'm pretty sure,
you know,
I'm sure none of you would want to hear me just out here chewing and smacking and everything. So I'll mute my mic for now.
And I understand why the judge did what she did with Mr. Sledge, and I'm not going to second guess Judge Whitaker, but the problem was these guys were all locked up without bond, and so they didn't really have options. Yeah. And then think about the other people. You know, we talked about this last time, Megan, about people that weren't able to even get attorneys for so long. Like, yeah, just broken.
Yeah. And I don't, obviously you don't know firsthand the other people's situation, but I noticed Demikion Garlington wasn't one of the ones mentioned as having his charges dropped. And just based on everything we've heard in trial, that makes sense. But when I was looking at why he wasn't on trial in this case, I saw something about how it was because he didn't have a lawyer. That's why he was severed early on. Do you know, has that situation changed at all?
My understanding is I think he has two lawyers now. One I know well, and he's a great lawyer. So, you know, hopefully things work out. But it looks like they're, you know, I have no inside information about any negotiations or anything going on.
Yeah. Do you think the attention that the trial got might have contributed to some lawyers taking attention to this case? Because before the circle was so small, it was criminal defense lawyers in the Atlanta area, but you've probably been contacted by, I mean, have you been contacted by attorneys around the country? Is there more interest in this from people trying to help or offer advice? Maybe unwanted advice.
Offer advice. Attorneys, no, I've received several dozens of emails from different attorneys, even from prosecutors, like from different states, saying, you know, keep fighting, keep pushing, and you know, and congratulatory emails when this came through. Now, advice, if I had hair, I would have pulled it out, because Megan, I appreciate everyone. Yeah. But gosh darn it, the people, the internet sleuths that acted like I didn't know what was on that drinks video and acting like I wasn't going to bring it up and I needed to be told and I needed to be tagged.
I'm just talking out here. I forgot that I muted my mic. I'm sorry.
In every post, and I needed to be called and voicemail after voicemail after voicemail from every.
Okay, well, old bag, I'm definitely not calling Meg Shardt.
State in the union, and our friend Thugger Daly actually did me a solid.
That. Yeah,
and he's like, I think Max knows what's on the video. Y'all can stop tagging him.
Yeah, let Max cook, I think he said.
Yeah. And I was so appreciative of that. I understand the interest, but it was kind of like, wait a second, I'm asking these questions in a way that are leading you to the conclusion, but you don't think I know what the conclusion is. Like, that's why I'm asking these questions. Goodness. And the other thing is, you know, I was kind of thinking I'm holding something in my pocket.
No, I thought Jerome said that he was not working. Yeah, Jerome said he's not working. He's not working tonight. So
pocket that maybe the other side might.
I'll share the link in case any of y'all want to get up here. And then again, tomorrow we're starting early. It's either going to be around 2 or 3 p.m. I'll schedule it It depends on what time I go to bed, but I'll schedule it well in advance. Okay, I'll schedule it well in advance. You'll know.
Not be 100% on right now. So I'm like, y'all are telling my secret right now on the
Right.
internet.
Right, because they made it pretty clear that they were paying attention to the social media hype. You know, I think that's one thing that could be studied in law schools, and there could be a big ABA journal article about what it was like for the attorneys and just the court staff and everyone to have so much publicity on this case, and how that changed things in the courtroom. I mean, or if it did. I mean, how it definitely changed things for you guys just in how you dealt with your
Oh no, this is so random, but I'm going through my spam emails. And Greg, if you're still in here, tell me if you remember. There was a TV show back in the day. I think it was called Misfits or something. It was these. From what I remember, it was a bunch of characters that would. I just remember orange overalls, but let me know if you remember that show or not.
Everyday lives and kind of trying to deal with this. But did it change what you did in the courtroom, or help you, or sometimes hurt you, just as you worried it might become a distraction?
I want to hear that.
To me, no, I didn't pay attention to it. Max and some of the others were on constant look at the computer to see what comments were made during the trial. And some of the comments would be helpful, and some of them were just totally by people that were unaware of what was going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has some influence. It's just the way things are nowadays.
Yeah.
Is that people do pay attention to social media.
Right.
And a lot of the trial was all about social media.
Right.
Oh, it was.
Right.
Yeah.
That the defendants had taken part.
That is
It
true.
was a huge part.
Well, that was one of my disagreements with Shannon was the different feeds. I liked Law and Crime when things were bad. I like getting the perspective of non-jurors.
Right.
And, obviously there's a lot of YSL fans, and, that they were always going to say, but there was some people that were more objective. And I like seeing negative comments because I know what's out there and what I need to worry about. But Shannon.
FFS, that's funny. Well, apparently Old Bag disagrees. All right. Old Bag disagrees with you.
He didn't like seeing negative comments. So he'd always want to get out of more.
Right.
And I said, Shannon, seeing the negative comments helps us because we know what we need to do. But that was kind of a funny thing. But yeah.
How did the clients and Shannon and keep up with all the coverage? Was there, because I mean, we saw you guys at the.
This is a really serious interview. Oh, okay. So Greg never watched Misfits, but do you know what I'm talking about, though? I guess you do, because you replied
at the defense table, and like you said, there is a legitimate legal strategy to reading these comments. It's not like you're just screwing around on the internet when you're doing that. So did you have set times that you would kind of do updates, or was it just periodic?
I'm ready to pivot. I'm ready to pivot to surviving YSL. And the reason, I don't have ADHD, at least I don't think I do. But I like to be active. The interview's a little somebody's laughing over here, so I guess you cracked the joke. But the interview's a little monotone to me, which is, it's acceptable. I'd listen to this video as if it were a podcast if I was taking a shower or something. I don't know that I'd listen to this while folding laundry. I'd probably watch the first 48. That's what I'd watch. Okay, because I love action. But yeah, it's monotone. It's just Shardt being Shardt, his proper. Oh my goodness. You guys were talking about cases. Here's the case that we absolutely have to cover. The Kentucky judge and the sheriff. Hold on. I've taken a screenshot today. Hold on. I've taken a screenshot today. I told you I take a lot of screenshots. But there was something about, because, man, I like twists and turns. Not screen recordings, screenshots. There was something about, it was crazy because initially, if you guys followed the, what is this? the shooting itself of the deputy or the sheriff or whoever that offed or murked the judge. Initially, when this was reported, because again, I stay in subreddits, but I don't remember if it was the public defenders or if it was the law firm subreddit, but there were rumors circulating that the judge probably had an improper relationship with a sheriff's daughter. But today, when I came on here, I tell you, my algorithm is all the way off. Uh, when I came on here, let me just find the screenshot. I thought I took the screenshot. It had something to do. Hold on, let me find it. Kentucky, judge, sheriff. I believe that's who it was. There was something that was posted today. Man, I should have written that down. It had something to do with I don't relations. Okay, it had something to do with relations. So I guess we need to take a closer look at that because if it's messy, I want to be there. All right. Anyways, I want to switch. I'm gonna switch to. Okay, so Greg does not know what the misfits are. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the judge and the sheriff. But Olbeg, did you read? I'm pretty sure I saw that. I read that this morning. Something about they were swapping, was it sex partners or something? I was like, man, that's my type of shit. So I love gossip, you guys. I'm pretty sure you know that by now. But I do enjoy a good gossip. And that's why Tasha K is my girl sometimes. I mean, sometimes I stop watching her because she does get pretty intense. Man, I thought I read that somewhere this morning, but I'll find it. Let's see. Okay, so Olbag says it sounds like the judge was being nasty. I need more information. Okay, okay. So Olbag's going with a daughter theory, but when I read this morning, I saw it somewhere. I should have taken a screenshot. Maybe I opened it. Did I open a new tab? Let's see. I'll have to find it. I'll have to go through. Yeah, I'll eventually go through it. But I read somewhere this morning that more information came out. In any event, let's quickly switch over. I want to switch over to Surviving YSL. This is a monotone interview. It's wonderful, very lovely people, but I need to laugh. They're not making me laugh. I need to, I need to cackle a little bit. All right, let's
actually, it would have potentially affected testimony of.
I have a question.
Public.
What's the question?
The first one.
Okay. We'll give them like 2 or 3 minutes because I'm nosy. I want to know what they were talking about, and then we're gonna move on from there.
Right. He was convicted of that one. Four.
And
he's had a tough life, so it's not everything is not. When people are trying to kill you for 8 years, it's easy for me to say that, but the reality is we are now in a situation where he can be a father for his children.
Oh, we already we watched this yesterday, so we can move on from that. Great interview, but I am ready to move on. Let's quickly go to Star. I've not been on Star's channel in quite some. Hold on, I'm so nosy. I need to go back. I see who this. Okay, so this is Granny. All right. Who's this? Dennis interviewed an attorney. I want to go to Star quickly. I don't think that's his name. It's what's his name? One Life Star, I think. Yeah, there we go. I want to see, has he posted? This was 6 hours ago. Guess we can see what his opinion is about this.
Yo, One Life family, what's going on? How everybody feeling? I hope everybody doing okay today. I want to welcome you to the channel. If this is your first time coming by the channel, if you return, I want to welcome.
I mean, everybody has intros. My stuff is just chaotic. It's just me smacking and It's me smacking, and then I just start talking.
You back to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to give a shout out to all the One Life members. And if you haven't had a chance to become a
And that's the thing. I know this is very random. People think that. Never mind. I was gonna comment on the fair use. I know display over here. Let's leave it alone. We can talk about copyright some other day.
One Life family member, man, please take the time out to become a member if you can. If not,
That's
simply
great.
tap the like button for me, hit the subscribe button. That'll do. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I love y'all so much. But
Is that it?
One Life family, I
Oh.
wanted to come to you guys and tell y'all that Kelvin Weiss, who is the brother of Donovan Nut Thomas, his brother, or somewhere along the lines, it's a story, but
Yeah.
he has officially been released from Fulton County Jail. You know what I'm saying? Welcome home, Kelvin White, Shell Kel.
All right.
Now, this is a very deep situation.
All right.
Because I want people to understand that the very people that Fulton County, the district attorney office, locked up and said they were going to prosecute and put away for all these RICOs and all these crimes, a lot of these people are right back on the street. You feel me? And as I was listening to some music from Kelvin Weiss and I was thinking back about things, it reminded me how Kenneth Copeland's brother did lose his life. How Donovan Nut Thomas did lose his life. There are a lot of people that's put back in the streets that still ain't got they lick back. You feel me? So I'm just breaking it down for y'all and saying that I see it's my.
All right, so people are saying this is a setup. I believe Jasmine said the same thing last night. So I don't know.
It's strange to me.
I don't know. All right, I'll reserve my comments.
That out of all this time that Kelvin Weiss been locked up, when SB and Yak Gotti beat the state, Thug go home and all this stuff, they decide to drop the charges against him and release him back into the wild. You feel me? Which is all good, but I'm just saying the type of games that the state play, how they play with people's lives and things of that nature. Now, they know it's going to be some repercussion behind this, and I feel like they know that it won't be long before certain individuals are running back to the interrogation room asking for help. Which in my opinion is part of their plan. But ladies and gentlemen of the One Life family, I did just want to let y'all know that Kelvin Watts, aka Shell Kel.
All right. Well, Jasmine alluded to the same thing last night. I don't know. For me, Flesh of the Gods is live. Can I tune in? Would it work? I don't know. In any event, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. So let's just find Surviving YSL. Surviving YSL. Yeah, let's move on there because that was a great interview. But listen, if you people are gonna get on YouTube, you need to come up here and post some stuff now. Like, don't just be out here posting 2 videos and then you let 13,000 people hang. Like, do you know how difficult it is to get 13,000? What is this? 13,000 subscribers, and this is all you put up? You could be making some real numbers. All right, so let's start off. I guess this would be the video, right? Yeah, this could be that is way too loud. All right. This is the video. I'm gonna start it, but then I quickly need to go check on my daughter, and then I'll be right back. Oh, never mind. She's screaming. Like, did you guys hear her? I don't know if the mic picked it up or not, but she literally just announced herself. When kids are a little quiet, it's good to assume that they are up to no good. No, stop, Seda. All right, hold on. Let me play this.
Hey y'all! Sorry, we're channeling our is it Lieutenant or Deputy Walker from court?
One of them. One on.
She would come in all the time, be like, "Hey y'all!" So whatever. But welcome back to the channel. We today we're gonna actually go through some questions that we found underneath our TikTok, our Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Yeah. So we don't have a little sip.
I'm sorry, I got distracted. I need to get back here. I need to know what they're saying. And these people have a, what is this? A logo and every a logo and everything, and I'm just out here struggling, baby.
Hey
We have an
y'all.
intro.
Sorry, we're channeling our
Whoever's living room this is, it's very nice. I like it. I like it.
Lieutenant or Deputy Walker from court.
One of them.
One on.
She would come in all the time, be like, "Hey y'all." So whatever. But welcome back to the channel.
All right.
We today we're gonna actually go through some questions that we found our TikTok, our Instagram, and our YouTube channel. Yeah. So we don't have a little sip, so we don't know what's gonna slip. But so we just gonna jump right into it and get to some of y'all questions. Thanks again so much.
Okay, FFS, what do you mean? Why did you rethink? I'm gonna send this link. Come up here. We have some talking to do. Okay, why are you rethinking it? What's going on? I don't know. Old bag is really funny. All right, let's
Much for everybody for
that link. I need you to get on the link. Let's see, it's 8:11. I have about a good 30 minutes, that's enough time to get through this video, but knowing me, we'll see how far we can get.
for sending questions to us.
And of course, if you have questions after this, go ahead and post it. Add it in the comment section. Send it as a DM.
I don't know. Maybe I can interview one of these people, but the person that I really want is Simone, though. That's my girl. Okay. Okay, so somebody's like, as salacious as I wanted this to be, I'm more happy to see a group of jurors who are professional and took their job seriously. All right. I like mess sometimes. Let's see. All right. Okay, let's go.
Depending on where you're following us at, let us know what you got. All right. So, first question: how did y'all feel about juror 409 that kept interviewing, saying
09? Who's 09?
she was going to vote guilty?
Oh, I did not get to watch that. I suppose, yeah, I think that was on Dana's channel. That's actually who we need to be focused on. So tomorrow, that's who we're starting off with. I don't know, I'm already pausing so many times. So tomorrow, that's definitely who we're going with. Okay, so FFS says, because I'm gonna get myself in trouble. He's got a mouth. I would like to believe that you can edit yourself. If that's what you're worried about, then pre-record and don't go live. Pre-record and don't go live. But I mean, here's the thing about me. I think people should do whatever it is they want to do. Okay, so if you do want to do it, right, I think you need to go ahead and do it. I know for a fact that a lot of folks on here will subscribe. I'll definitely subscribe. I'll watch. I'll support. And even with fear of, why do I keep calling him fear of the gods? Flesh of the gods. I'm sure you're going to get support over there. You can do it. If you want to do it, you absolutely can do it. But then again, I still have to edit the stuff you said. I have to cut that out. So we're going to have a hard stop. Let me set my alarm. I have an alarm set. We're going to stop. We're going to have a hard stop at 8:40 p.m. because I have to edit out the thing that you said in yesterday's live.
We starting with me? We can.
You know how she feels.
Right.
No, it's history behind that.
They pretty much said that's my auntie.
It's history behind that one.
Not. What's not?
Her auntie.
I don't know. My energy right now, as much as I'm thriving, I guess I really am thriving on 3-4 hours. I have really high energy right now that I want something. I just want something that is more moving, something with a lot of action. Like, I know I talk slow, but
See her kind of
have some
it's
kind
not
of
that I
evidence to back it.
expected something salacious, but I just want something that's high energy. This is not it right now. So let's see. This is not it right now. That's just not how I'm. You guys know I'm chaotic, so I wonder, does Dennis? How does he create his thumbnails? Is it AI? I've always wondered, like with these cartoons and everything. I don't know. 409 actually revealed her face. Yeah. All right. So let's get in here. I think this is going to be high energy. I have a lot of faith that this is going to be high energy. So let's do this. We have like, I don't know, probably down to 25 minutes. But I'm sorry that I keep moving around. When I'm not feeling it, I'm not feeling it. But they were just a little too slow for me. The little too okay. FFS, I'm gonna post something that violates every single, oh my goodness. Every single YouTube terms of service. They'll probably rewrite their terms of service to include the stuff they've never thought they needed to include until me. I mean, if that's what you want to do, then do that, right? Sometimes you need to push the envelope, all right? Okay, the interviews with lawyer, what's high energy. All right. I guess I wanted us to do that tomorrow though, but I guess we can get into that. 409. Oh, babe, what are you saying? In order to go live, do I have to have a certain amount of subscribers or something? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think you need a certain number of subscribers to be able to go live, but you do need a certain number of subscribers and watch hours in order to be monetized. Let's see what Mr. Dennis even. If I have enough time tomorrow, I'm going to create an intro. I actually have. Now I'm getting distracted. I'm not even going to share that. I was going to share my banner, which I created 2 or 3 weeks ago. I just don't use it. I just don't use it. So let's see though.
Good evening.
So, I was trying to figure out.
Meanwhile, I am joined with.
Yeah, so tomorrow we can do not a lawyer, but we can definitely do that. I just hope it's real energy because I know I have a lot of energy right now. Okay, so Real Thing says, I know Dennis is very particular about YouTubers showing his interviews on their channel, but I know you already know that. Yeah, I mean, Dennis is, from what I recall, because I did watch that mess with him, and never mind. Let me just remove this. Now that I'm trying to justify myself, let me just remove this. I should score my own interviews, which I'm not gonna do. I wanted to watch that mess, but let's go to friendly. What is this? I guess friendly grounds. I want to see what Sylvia's talking about. I'm so messy, and I'm all over the place. Is it not, there we go. There we go. Is this, I think this is them, right? Yeah, this is them. She did really good numbers. That's great. All right, come on. What is she talking about? You're paying the jurors and everybody. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry, folks. I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on. All right, let's get into it. I'm not sharing my screen. Let us share my screen. And Real Thing, thanks for looking out for me. I appreciate that. Big ups. Shout out to Real Thing.
And let me put a banner up. Oh, that's the other thing. Let me say that. So we're going to have the jurors come up, but if you want to follow the jurors on TikTok, okay, right. It's the jurors speak.
Man, social media has changed
on TikTok and YouTube. And I'm going to put it in I'm going to do a banner. I don't usually do banners. Here's the other thing too. Let me say this. I'm going to put my Cash App in the banner as well. If you want to donate any money to the Cash App, I'm going to be giving it to the jurors. Y'all know they made $25 a day. Y'all already know how Fulton County plays.
I'd like to.
They made $25 a day. So if you should want to give any money to the Cash Apps, I am going to be screenshotting and sending them the total. And I'm not a thief, I promise. So I'll be sending them,
yeah, YouTube does
that
get a
money.
little,
So let me get this banner together.
Yeah.
Oops. First of all,
all right. I want a
banner.
real lawyer at gmail.com.
And then follow on TikTok. It's at the Jurors Speak and YouTube.
I'm not here for
years.
the
Most of the time that I've
just
been
get
in
into it.
Atlanta, just moved to Fulton County a couple years before that. So I
Well, middle, because I think the other one is to the right of you.
well, she's on the other side, but it's okay.
Oh,
Okay.
so it's the same background. Okay.
So then to the left of 225 is 387.
Yep.
Right? There it is. Who was an alternate? Yep.
All right,
And
come
then
on, folks.
508 also.
Like we said in 2022,
Right.
23, January 5th, I
You did
would've
what?
thought what it would be. So I was like,
Yeah.
these people like
I'm sorry, folks. The energy is not giving. Okay. I think it's just me because I'm like about to burst right now. I have a lot of energy going on. So let me see. I usually have a trough of a bunch of things in here. I need to install this later. Not now. No. Later. Later. We'll do that later. All right. What? No, don't. No, I'm not agreeing to terms. I don't want to do this right now. I need my phone. All right, hold on. I'm trying to go through my. I'm trying to go through my stuff here. We can turn this up because no, I don't like. Like I really have a lot of energy. I don't know why I have so much energy, considering that I did not get much sleep. Hold on. I'm trying to find something here. I'm trying to find something. Hold on. I guess they can talk while I'm
lives
looking for
would
this.
literally be in my hands. So I was nervous.
Yeah.
Definitely was, but I put it on my chin and just went for what I knew.
Yeah. Yeah. And then 387, you want to tell us about how you felt about being selected? And when did you find out about the time frame? Which obviously was incorrect, being that it took longer, but like
Right.
tell us about that a little bit.
I think
So we got our original summon, like we said, in 2022.
Right.
23, January 5th, I will never forget. Game Man was there all day.
Mhm.
And then I didn't go back until like October.
Mhm.
And then got selected November 1st. And I just knew there had to be a better option. I did not need to pick. You're not going to tell me all these people that came here and answered questions and you chose me? What is the hang up?
I think that as far as like the timeline for the 6 and 9.
All right, I'm gonna get into some mess here. Oh, Jerome! Shout out to Jerome.
What's up, guys? What's up, y'all?
Hey.
And just to be short, I thought I was off today. I had to work.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so today was like I thought I was off, but today was like a regular day for me.
Oh, okay. How do you get your schedule wrong though? You're from New York. You're not supposed to play about your money.
Yeah, but see, I do heat and air conditioning. So when you get those emergency calls on Saturday, that's where
Yeah.
money be at. Money. Okay, you got to get up for that.
That's right. Okay, well, we're glad you're here. So,
I'm playing
because I was
catch
actually,
up. I ain't hear nothing. I'm just literally. I ain't see no chats or nothing. So I'm blind. I don't know where y'all at. What y'all was doing. I don't know.
well, we're about to end. You basically saved these people because I was about to play some nonsense. I was gonna make them watch some nonsense right now, so you kind of saved them. Okay, everybody's so excited to see you.
Yeah, I love everybody.
Hey,
You know,
Jerome, huh?
I said I love everybody. I love this
Yeah.
family we got going on.
Yeah. Did you have a good day though? Are you tired?
A little bit, but it was a good
Yeah.
day though.
What time
Thanks
did
for
you have to
asking.
get up?
This morning I got my first call at 7 o'clock.
Dang. So we got up around the same time. So
So I got like
maybe you
3
got up.
hours. 3 hours.
Same here. we need to do better, you guys. Like we need to do better. Real thing says what up.
Yeah, real thing. I'm glad. I must have missed a lot. I'm looking at the chat now.
No, today's
I
a
ain't
bit
going back. Huh?
no, today's a bit slow. Like
It's slow.
it's not it's slow. We started off with Shardt. Maybe what I should have played, I probably should have played Doug and Woody. That's a difficult interview though, but probably would have been more eventful. But Shardt was just being Shardt, He was being himself. But we have like I don't know, 20 minutes, and then I need to get off here because we were very wild. Excuse me. We were wild. We were chaotic in last night's live, and I need to do some damage control. I need to go cut out some stuff. I need to go cut out some stuff that FFS said in the live. So, yeah, I'll have to leave a little early. In any event, okay.
What's up, FFS?
I know. FFS is
Greg,
gonna
old
email
bag.
me.
I see old bag is there. What did old bag say she was doing yesterday? What was she doing?
Feeding her goats and pigs and all types of, I don't know.
Chad Dickey and everything. I see everybody. Jasmine come today too, or no?
Yeah, Jasmine's in here. I hope she's
Oh,
feeling
okay.
good though.
How
I
about
got
Allie?
to check up on her. Yeah, Allie popped in for a little bit, but you know she be parenting. She's
And Greg?
parenting.
Yeah, I like that.
So, Obag, you said I should fast forward. Where do you want me to fast forward? Because this interview is not giving. Where do you want me to fast forward? Give me a timestamp. Give me a timestamp. Give me a timestamp. No, we have too much going on here. I guess, can I get rid of this middle column or no? The recommendations, probably not. I guess only over here. But, all right, let's see.
So, Jasmine.
All right, I'm just going to fast forward to a random spot. If that's not good, then we take it from there. But they're just, I don't know.
I mean, I personally thought maybe it was like a health thing because we knew that Judge Glenn.
Oh, okay. This is interesting.
Or, you know, what it was like. At this point, like I said, all of us are gang experts.
Right.
Yeah, on our resume.
The interpreters, we're gang experts, we're crime scene investigators.
All of the above.
Crime scene text. I'm sorry. Crime scene text.
A year worth.
Right.
We might
Right.
even be firearm
Right.
experts.
Yeah, firearm experts.
Why is she? I know I'm always talking nonsense, but this person that's in hiding, do they have a mic on?
No, the one that's hiding is no.
Yeah, because
did you go to their channel? I think they just did their channel. What's today? Saturday?
yeah,
What was that? Friday or Thursday? When they did their.
we started off on the channel, like big ups to them.
Okay.
They got 13K subscribers in a short period of time, so that's really good.
Word.
But the energy was too low for me. Like right now, I really want to burst. Like I'm excited. I have like oomph. You know, I'm trying to get to things. But what's up, real thing?
There's another one not being showed. Yeah, I saw one that was like 15 minutes. Y'all saw the 15 minutes one?
It's crazy. We tried to, but the energy is too low for me. I cannot do it. Not right now.
Oh.
Hey, real thing.
Hey.
What's up?
I was just really, I guess, agreeing with Jerome about that video that you were just trying to watch. It does get better because it is the jurors, like it's a Q&A. They just accepted all the questions from us, like the main things that we wanted to know. So it does get a little interesting, but if you don't want to watch it tonight, we can watch it another time.
We can watch it tomorrow. Like my energy, you guys have no idea.
So I got can I ask
Yeah.
real quick question?
Mhm.
Out of the three, even the one that was off camera in this video, which ones were on the jury and which one were alternates? Do you know?
Yeah, so I think she's 225. Her with the I think she has locks and she has the boys in the hood.
Yeah.
Okay, so
She was one of the 12 that deliberated.
Okay.
So I think that's very interesting because the other two ladies, her with the bob and the glasses, and the one who's off camera right now, they did not deliberate, but with her being a representative, her with the boys in the hood shirt, she's a representative of the 12 that did.
Right.
And I think it's just one. She's the only one that has so far come out to really talk about it.
Right.
And the other ones we know were older. Some of the jurors were much older than her.
Yeah.
You know, we know that English wasn't their first language for
Right.
maybe one or two. So it's just interesting that they all still, even if they were, let's say, influenced by juror 56, even if they were influenced by him, they still all came to the conclusion of not guilty. And that's really why I want to watch this video with you tomorrow.
Right.
Because they talk about love, they talk about Hilton, they talk about the gang experts, the detectives, and I want to hear from you. So, how
Okay.
much of that played a part in them
Right.
coming to that not guilty verdict?
All right.
Yes.
Definitely.
So one real quick question to piggyback on that. Is it like the old school where the jurors have to pick for a person, or does it they have to pick it like the old school? Everybody has to say, "Yeah, Jason, we want you to be it." Is it like
Every
that?
everybody has to sign on. So sometimes, one of the jurors will, appoint somebody and says this person is going to be a good foreperson, and everybody agrees. But I think in this case, this is just me assuming. I think in this case, 56 raised his hand and said, "I'm the foreperson," and everybody said, "Okay, that's what I'd like to believe." So, yeah. So it's, it can be either or. Okay, so real thing, but you have swayed me, okay? You have persuaded me. So we're gonna watch this video. It's kind of slow though. Like I guess tomorrow will be a good day because I just have high energy, and because I have high energy, I want to laugh. I want to act a fool because that's what I do. And I don't know. We'll watch the rest of this though. I have like, I don't know, 9, 10 minutes, and then I need to go edit that video because FFS, I don't know what FFS was on last night. I mean, he did save the live, but I just need to cut some stuff out of there because we don't want them pulling up my video and saying, "Isn't this what you were saying on YouTube on this day?" So
Right. He did say that. FFS did remind you to do that. I do
yeah,
remember
so
that.
I,
I
I
remember listening.
definitely, I'm gonna do him that
Yeah.
favor and cut that
I,
mess out.
well,
So okay, all right, let's watch here.
Depending on the caliber, I might be able to get
I love it. I have a few chats over here. Let me just call them out before I kind of move to the next set of questions, just because I don't want to miss anything. So give me just a second to just call out a couple people. Galactus is being funny. They always say I should do merch. So that's a shout out for merch. Melanie is saying, are you ready to hear about the chaos y'all missed? What did you think about the long breaks, June until end of July? So there were so many late starts. There were so many half days when it came to Judge Glanville. It seemed chaotic for us. Did it feel that way for you guys?
Chaotic. I will say, once we got the new judge, it was a lot better with the
Oh my goodness.
consistency. Like we were
Old Bag is undefeated. Like Old Bag, you are really funny.
I know. I was reading.
Huh?
I was reading Old Bag and laughing to myself.
Yeah.
Old
Bag is really funny. Yeah,
Very
FFS.
funny.
I'll do that. I'm not gonna forget. That's why I'm gonna leave in a little bit so I can take care of that. And I mean, I do have the timestamp. I just need to snap it out.
Need to switch it, but for the most part, we were there at the same time. We could expect to stay until the same time. With Glanville, every day was something different as far as our report times.
Yeah.
And when we were like out during that time in the summer, it was very frustrating, at least for me, because we had no idea. Like we'll get a message saying like, "Hey, you guys plan to be back tomorrow." And then we'll get another message saying, "Actually, not tomorrow. It's Thursday." And then Wednesday will come. They were like, "Actually, Friday," and then it's Monday. Like it wasn't like we knew that we were going to be out.
Oh no, was Glanville, what did it do before getting on the bench? I'm gonna look that up.
That long, it was kind of like a day by day, like we're just kind of waiting to see when we come back. And then we were out like 7 weeks or something. Like I could have had a whole vacation. I could have, but we couldn't do.
Did what?
What?
What are you saying?
I said I know he does better.
No, before. Was he a prosecutor? Was he a public? I don't think he was a public defender. There's no way this man was a public. I would be shocked. Your words are breaking up. Oh, he does have a master's. All right. To 1987. All right. Oh, he was a probation officer. He was a probation officer. He was a prosecutor. I'm surprised. He was a prosecutor, professor. He was also a defense attorney. I guess he's a serial quitter like me. This man has a lot of jobs. Okay. I don't know. I'm shocked though, because usually people that, cannot go, at least Fulton County has proved as differently, but usually prosecutors, especially trial prosecutors, tend to be disciplined. So unless he was just, I don't know, plea dealing, but usually prosecutors are disciplined. I'm just shocked at how disorganized he was. FFA says, last thing I want to have happen to me is a prosecutor reading that part out at trial, pulling up your video, December 7th. You stated in this video. Play the video. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff. I mean, we do get reckless on here, but
Also,
uh-huh.
real quick, from your perspective as a attorney, is there anything in particular that you would like to hear from these particular jurors? Because if it's nothing interesting to you.
No, I was nosy, so I wanted to come up here and see, because when I saw the live initially, I had planned on watching the live. Let me see. Is there anything in particular? I'd like to know what they thought about Woody. And again, because what is this? When I was rewatching, that's not really rewatching, but as I continue to watch the state's closing, my focus after all the mess and her rapping and dancing and doing all the stuff, I was curious to know if Woody's testimony was corroborated, not just Woody but Lil D as well, because that would have made the difference. But as I kept watching, that corroboration was missing. So I'd like to know what they thought about Woody's testimony.
Okay. The reason why I asked you that is because I did watch the 3 main videos that these 3 jurors have done.
Okay.
And they talk about Woody the most out of the 3 videos so far. And they did an interview with Law and Crime.
Oh, really?
Channel. Yeah, they did. They just did an interview with them. And they talk about Woody a little bit more than these 2 videos.
Let me look it up. How come YouTube did not recommend this to me? Hold on. I mean, I would have expected them to interview the jurors, but let's see. Now they're just showing me the actual trial. Let's look it up. Now they're showing me stuff from a year ago. Can you send me the link, please? I want a realawyer@gmail.com.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll appreciate that. Okay, so we can start with that tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's get in here.
Anything because we were kind of on call.
Yeah.
And every day they kind of just updated us as to whether or not we would come back the next day.
That's
so
crazy.
And we couldn't really be around people. So it was like,
I guess it's why
we have became so close because it's like, okay, we got to go over, 387 house and 225 and like it was when like, his birthday.
Yeah.
Doing something. Yeah. So like we family now.
We are family. We are family.
I hope you guys don't have a falling out. I'm just saying. All right.
Juror nieces.
I love it.
We got our furfews. So
this will be a good transition because you mentioned that we were talking about the difference kind of between the judges, and Nikki is saying, what did you think when there suddenly was a new judge? And so you were talking about the 7-week break in the middle of the trial. It's all of a sudden, hey, there's no trial. We'll let you know. And then you come back and there's a new judge. What is happening? What do you think when you come in and
I mean,
this is why these were good jurors. Again, in order to have good jurors, you need individuals that actually listen to the presiding officer. And this is what these folks out here did. What's up, Jerome? What's going on? You still have not fixed your Wi-Fi?
I think it's on your end.
Nah.
I got good Wi-Fi over here.
Nah, cannot be. That only Ellie does have bad Wi-Fi too. I mean, Real Thing, I've not seen Real Thing disappear from here yet. And FFS stayed on very well. So I think it's your Wi-Fi.
It said he got disconnected. He had to get reconnected back. I see it right now. He got disconnected too.
Now I don't know what you guys have going on. You need to stop getting Wi-Fi from Dollar Tree or wherever it is you're getting it from. But yeah. All right, let's get in here.
I personally thought maybe
I know I keep pushing the envelope. I'll give you guys like another 5 minutes, and I really need to go edit that video.
It was like a health thing because we knew that Judge Glanville had that dog and stuff.
Yeah. Tomorrow's going to be a mess. Okay, because right now, as things were slowing down, I was about to start talking about my cheating aunt. But
You going back to that?
but
Going back. I forgot about that.
yeah, I need you guys to help me solve a case, right? I think my auntie's cheating. I think she's cheating. She's not coming out with the info. But tomorrow, we'll do that towards the very end, though. Like, let me actually write it down. I always need to make these notes for myself. Towards the very end, we're going to talk about my cheating aunt. Are you working tomorrow, Jerome?
No, I don't care
Very
how
good.
much money they offering. No, I'm not. I
Sometimes
got
you
it.
just need to go. I mean, it's Christmas. Your grandson's going to be asking for a whole bunch of stuff. So,
Oh, he good. He good. He
yeah,
good.
so you
Yeah, he
need to
good.
go out there and secure the bag.
Yeah, but I gotta actually be able to be a person to get up and not overwork myself too. Just
Yeah,
like today, I should have took today off because now tomorrow I'm gonna be really tired. But I'm gonna sleep good tonight.
yeah, but I mean, we're ending in 5 minutes, so you don't have to be worried about staying here late. I'm not gonna keep you. I'm not gonna keep you.
Yeah, you got a life too, because I know it would have been a, you got a life. Everybody's got a life, but I know if we would have went hard on our regular time at 10 o'clock tonight, it would have been off the chain.
Oh yeah, that's funny. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, but I have stuff to do. I have to hang out with my family for a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
Hang out with my folks. I have to sort out my shopping list. I usually, yeah, I need to go grocery shopping tomorrow. So, okay, all right. Let's watch a bit of this, and then I need to go edit that video.
That. So I mean, we had no idea, but like we joked that, oh, this is season 2. Like we just come
Yeah,
in.
this is what I like about these jurors. They did not go. I mean, something in a few years. I don't doubt that in a few years, a month or something, we're gonna find out about the juror 56 or somebody doing something. But from what I'm seeing right now, they appear to have followed directions.
And it's like this is a new season. There's a new judge. And then we got here, like most of the defendants were gone. We're in season 3, so like it was just everything was so unpredictable and all of that to begin with. It was just kind of like, oh, of course, like something else done happened, and they're not telling us because it seemed like it was a lot that was happening that we weren't being told about, or like I know some stuff we weren't supposed to know about, but some stuff it seemed like we should have known, and we were kind of out of the loop. So it was just another thing that like we out of the loop. We just gotta come here, sit and take our notes and keep it pushing.
And I also think it has something to play with how we started as well. Nothing has ever been clear and concise. Mm-hmm. So I know even though for everybody else that's watching, it's like, how did you feel? How did you? I mean, we never had organization. Like it wasn't like going into work and getting your idea of what your job is.
Yeah.
But like you show up, you're a juror. Meet us at this time on these days, and we'll tell you when something changes. And it was like, oh, let's.
I do see the questions here. What did you think about Vivarito? What did you think about love? So okay.
Add an extra layer. Stay off of social media. Don't talk to your family and them. Don't watch the news. Then you wake up.
That's kind of difficult, though. At least as far as the don't talk to your family part. The reason why I say that it's because oftentimes, even as attorneys, there's a line in terms of what we can, not just publicly, what we can say to other folks about our clients. So the one thing, obviously, you're not authorized to reveal a client's identity without their permission. Like if I was working on a case right now, I cannot, not if I was, I am always working on cases, but I cannot come on here, give you sufficient information to go find out the identity of of my client. The reason why, it's just difficult to think that couples do not pillow talk, okay? Because even as attorneys, we talk about certain aspects of our cases and our clients with our significant others, with our spouses, So it's kind of hard to believe that all these jurors actually followed through with those directives. I mean, think of when something really happens, like when some mess happens. I always call my sister. It does not matter what it is, but I'm going to tell my sister. And my sister does the same thing. If something happens, she tells me. And even the day when Abate revealed this, this marriage, I don't even know why the marriage was supposed to be a secret. But when he, had the big reveal, I do not doubt that Whitaker went home to her spouse, significant other, I don't know, confidant, sibling, kid, and say, you won't believe what these people did in this courtroom today. So it's, that's where I'm kind of, I guess I'm not completely sold if all the jurors were able to follow the court's directives and abstain from, disclosing any type of information as it related to the case. But that's just me. That's just me. In any event, let me read these text messages. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I know. We could have made things shake, but I did not get enough sleep. And besides that, I'd like to tell my men some gossip. Okay, so I'm gonna have to get off here in a little bit. You coming over to Flesh of the Gods? Yeah, I think you guys, if for folks that have not checked out Flesh of the Gods, please go over there, show him some support. But I like his channel. I like his channel. I like the layout. I like everything. If I had a lot of time on my hands, I'd reach out to Flesh and ask him to show me the ropes on how to have a great overlay, but I just don't have the time. And then FFS, can an attorney have anyone try to track someone down that he's looking for whatever reason? I need more context because my answer depends on the circumstances. Depends on the circumstances. Like when you say anyone, are we referring to a witness? Are we referring to a defendant? Are we referring to another attorney? Because I've worn a disguise before. I actually have. A few years back, I wore a disguise because I had to find out some information, and I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. But it was related to a criminal case and some other attorneys. But I definitely wore a disguise, and I went incognito. So, and this was at the request of another attorney. So it just depends. And I had my kid as a decoy. Yeah, that was actually a mess. I took a picture of what I looked like on that day. All right. Any closing arguments? Real thing, Jerome, because I need to take care of that thing for FFS. I've gone over the time. Any closing arguments?
Nope. I'll be ready for you tomorrow.
Oh, fantastic. Big shout out to Real Thing. All right, Jerome, closing. Where did Jerome go again? Jerome, I need you to speak up, okay? So FFS, you can send me that question. You can send me that question and I'll give you my opinion. It's not legal advice, but it depends on what you're asking me, okay? In any event, so we're back here tomorrow. We're looking again. I'm going to schedule this. I'll give everybody advance notice. It's either going to be around 2 or 3 p.m. Probably tomorrow is one of those days where we can go live, probably twice. Okay. I mean, it can just be a lengthy video if that's how we feel. But tomorrow around 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern time. And then let me see what else. Tomorrow what we're doing is we're going to watch this video in its entirety, but we also have to finish the Hilton closing. Yeah, I think we finish Hilton, right? Because Hilton only has an hour. So we start off with Hilton. We might take a break. Tomorrow I'm probably going to mute my mic because I just cannot stop talking. So tomorrow I'm going to mute my mic, talk to myself. We get through Hilton's closing. After we get through Hilton's closing, we'll move over to the to this interview of the three jurors. I know Real Thing has questions. If anybody else has questions, let's get into that. And then I'm going to some homework for myself. So I'm going to have to take a look at, because the sheriff and the judge, I am pretty sure, I don't think I made that up. I'm pretty sure that I saw a video today saying something about I don't know. It sounded like swingers gone wrong, but yeah. So that's what we are doing tomorrow, and then at the very end, I need you guys to help me with a case. Okay, I believe my aunt is cheating on her husband or my uncle, but we don't have all the facts. It's all circumstantial. Jerome says I got silenced. Gonna get kicked out. Okay, all right. Okay, so FFS. Okay, a client dipped out on their bill. He knows that a person is very known to find people who don't want to be found. I need more information. Send me an email. Can he have someone who isn't an employee of his track that person down? I definitely need more info. All right, thank you for sending the link. Real thing. I have like 10 minutes, you guys. I have a date. I have a date. Okay, I have 10 minutes to edit this live from last night, and then I hate that. I'm a punctual person. I think you guys know that. I'm punctual. All right, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. It was fun hanging out as always. We'll be back tomorrow. It's either gonna be 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern time. Shout out to Real Thing. Shout out to Jerome. A shout out to everybody. Okay, I don't want to leave out any names because yesterday I realized that I forgot to give. I forgot to shout Brooklyn out, and I felt awful. I mean, Brooklyn wasn't here, but I still should have, given Brooklyn a shout out. All right, folks, I am signing off. I'm signing off. All right.